my fellow iOS hustlers. It's your boy, Codehova from Fly Combinator. Let's continue on with the course and let's just take a look at our syllabus, where we're working with, all right? So right now we are at the point of pair programming. I'm not really sure how we could go over this over the internet, but just know that it's you and me, and we are doing this together. We are walking the path of walking towards being an iOS hustler. So let's mark pair programming as complete. So the next topic at hand is the proper model view controller principle. This is something that I would have to say that once you continue on building, right, you'll get more of this concept. It might be something to you that is a foreign concept, so it's definitely going to just go over your head. Don't worry about it. I'll just do a quick overview and we'll keep it pimping, all right? So we have the model view controller, the MVC. And what that is we're going to have a structure like this. So let's think about each screen being whatever you develop. Each screen is going to be a combination of model, view, and controller. What the model is, think of it like data, all right? And what the view is, it's what you see on the screen. It's the way you code your screen to look like. In the controller, it's definitely going to be our view controller file. It's going to be what holds the model and the view together, and it interacts as the middleman. So it's like the controller, let's say it's in the middle. On one hand, it has data, and on the other hand, it has the aesthetic views. So the views wouldn't be anything without data. So the controller is in the middle, getting the data from the model and passing it into the view. And the view can also correspond with the model by, let's say there was a button. And the button, once you push the button, what happens? We have to have some IB action code in our view controller, correct? So when the button is interacted with, an IB action is done, the controller will be notified saying, oh, this button got pressed. So depending on what happens in that controller, it's going to do something. It might move to another view controller with a perform segue function being run. Or if we had a situation where there was an app, and let's say there was a stepper, right? If I push the stepper up and we had some model that's going to keep the count of a certain value, if we press the stepper once, it's going to tell the controller is going to be like, all right, I received an incrementation from the stepper. Let's add 5 points to the model. And boom, the model's going to be updated. And pretty much the model, it's going to increment in value, but also the controller will also know to update the view to make this be like, if there was a count label, right? If this stepper gets pushed up, the model will be updated. If the model gets updated, the view of that label will go from 0 to 5. All right. So basically, let me just show you. So this is definitely a view, right? This is some kind of label. This is some kind of label. This is some kind of UI image, maybe UI image view. And we have another label. We have an image view. We have a label. And this is a view. This is its own view. This is probably a cell. This is probably a cell. And this cell has a label. It has a button. The share image is definitely a button, right? Because if I push that, this action happens. So when I interact with this button, this is a view. That view has received an action, and it's going to tell the controller. The controller is going to say, hey, all right, I got interacted with, so when a share happens, I'm going to present to the user a share sheet, right? Boom, there you have it. So basically, what we're working with, right, is the fact that when you create code, you want your views to be very simple. You don't want your views to be doing logic. You don't want views to be crunching numbers and figuring out, oh, I want to, if I get interacted with, I want the screen to do this and that. No. You just want your view to be very, very, have the single responsibility of just showing what it's supposed to show. Don't make it do math. Don't make it do work. just make it show what it's supposed to show. The model, don't make the model do work. Make the model just hold data just hold data. Let the controller do all the work. That is the MVC design pattern. And let's just scroll to see if there's any way. All right, so this too. Instead of looking at MVC and this type of delivery, let's look at this. So it's just the controller is in the middle. The controller is going to be the middleman for the model and the view. The view gets interacted with. It's going to tell the controller. The controller might talk to the model to do whatever it needs to do. Change its name, increment a value. And once this is incremented, it's going to move to the controller, and then the controller's like, all right, the model got updated, so let's update the view. See, we have a very easy move around with this type of structure. Another way you can look at it is user interface. So the views will just deal with user interface. That's it. The controller is going to do all the business logic. It's going to do all the manual labor. And the model, it's just going to hold data. That's all it does. It might update data, but it's going to hold data. It ain't going to do all this crazy number crunching. It's just going to be a model class that's going to keep it moving. So yeah, that's MVC. We'll definitely be building in an MVC pattern. So once you start building, you're going to see what I mean by separating, keeping things separate, and making views just worry about views, models just worry about its data, and controllers being the middleman that's going to handle the interactions between the model and the view. I'm not sure if this is really going to help, but basically, so whatever you create in the storyboard or a zip file is going to be view related. It's just going to have the view. And then view controllers are your controller. And models are classes or structs that we're going to create that hold the data. Yeah, man. It really will just... It will bloom. This idea will bloom with more explanation through code, with more implementation. So it's your boy, Codehova, Fly Combinator. Live streams every Sunday. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Let's keep pushing. All right? Peace.